This is just a little proof of concept with regards to charging a lithium-ion battery from an alternator in a car or a van. So the issues you would run into if you were just to connect battery to battery relay, which when the engine starts, the relay will see, if it's a voltage sensing relay, it will see that the engine's running because the voltage will increase, and that will tell the relay to click in, and it will link the lithium-ion battery to the alternator. But the problem is, with doing that, you actually, because the internal resistance of the lithium battery is so low, a huge amount of current will flow and start going into the lithium battery, which will overload your alternator and can cause all sorts of problems. So the way around that is to use some sort of charge controller. I think everyone knows that Victron and Renogy do charge controllers, and they're usually rated in wattage. Like a 300 watt one or something like that would be pretty good to charge a battery while it's going. But basically how that works is, while the engine's running, it goes through the DC-DC converter, and the output of the DC-DC converter is fixed. So it's a fixed voltage and it's a fixed current. Well, actually, to a point, it's a fixed current. Once the lithium battery starts charging up, then what you get is a lower current flowing into the battery because it's getting closer to fully charged. But effectively, on the output side of the DC-DC converter, it doesn't matter what's connected because it can only pull 300 watts or whatever rating you bought from the alternator. So what I've done here is, with the cheapest stuff I could source, I figured you could build one of these yourself. Obviously it wouldn't have Bluetooth or anything like that, but fairly cheaply, just off parts from AliExpress. And that's what we're going to go with today, is just have a little play with it. So this is going to be classed as the alternator. It's a server power supply, which has just been modified to, well, is the zoom working? No, zoom's not working. It's a server power supply which has been modified just to provide an output, and I can adjust it on that, but it's set to 14 volts. This is a, is that going to, come on, autofocus isn't working. Is it on manual? No. Okay, this is, oh, one thing I will mention actually is I was expecting we'll measure the current flow into the boost converter. This is the screen for it. Was that going to work? So it's not that accurate, but it's accurate enough for an experiment. This is just the power supply, which is powering this unit here. This is they're about 15 quid, but this is a step-up converter. So this will take the 12 volts, or if it's an alternator, it'll be like 13.8 volts in, and step it up to 30 volts. So the reason we're stepping it up is because we're actually going to be a bit inefficient and step it back down again. That being your fixed output. So this is just a fan I put on top. So this is just a 300 watt buck converter, and it's got adjustable output voltage, and it's got a current limit. So I've set the current limit to 20 amps, I think, and the output voltage is set to about 14 volts, which is what you would have for a lithium-ion battery of the 4S configuration. So that's it. That's the setup. That's what we've got. So let's have a little play. What I'm going to do is, this is quite noisy, but I'm going to plug it in, and we're just going to go to increments of 1 amp, and we can measure the efficiency. One thing I would mention is I was expected to have a delivery of some batteries to do this test with some batteries, but they haven't arrived, so I'm just going to do it like this for now, and then when the batteries arrive, I'll just prove that it works by using those. So right, let's go. I'm going to plug this in. This does kick up a bit of noise when it gets going, so hopefully it'll keep quiet. I've got a real problem with the autofocus on this camera. Okay, right, so that's on. So we put in 15 watts, and it reckons it's 17 watts on the input. Okay, Okay, let's step this up a little bit because I think that's going to take ages. So let's do this. Let's start it at 10 amps. What have we got there? So we've got 138 watts. 150 going in. What's the temperature? So the temperature is just down here. That's the heatsink temperature. Just there, which is 9.4. Okay, that's good. I'm going to actually turn the fan onto it there. That's a bit better. The temperature of the heatsink on this is 24 degrees. It's looking pretty good. Okay, let's do 2 more amps. 165 watts coming out. 184 watts going in. Oh, let's do 15. That's a bit much. 205 watts coming out. So yeah, 230 watts going in. Where were we? 232. Yep, done that one. So that's good. Where are we at now? 15 amp. Let's just go all the way to 20 amps. So 20 amps is 271 watts on the output. Oh, I need to zoom that in really. $314 watts on the input. I mean, that's pretty much that's it. That's maxed out. But we'll go another couple. 282 watts on the output. 333 on the input. So the input current, the maximum input current on this, I think, is actually 30 amps. So we're nearly at the maximum input current of that anyway. We'll do something smelling warm. I mean, that's pretty good. That's nearly 300 watts on the output. $245 on the input. Okay, we'll go one more. I'm getting nervous. It'd be really good to do 300, wouldn't it? Something's dropping down. What the? How are we doing? Everything's okay? That's still 24 degrees. How's it? Oh, is it this? No, I don't know. I think we're okay. That looks like that temperature sensor's come off there a little bit. Okay, well, I mean, I'm pretty happy with 22 amps, nearly 300 watts. I really want 300 watts. Oh, I know what's happening. Sorry, it'll be the overcurrent protection on this. Slow. I'll crank it up one and see. What I need is a tiny screwdriver. This is the problem when you clear up. Have I got one? I've got more than one. But where is it? Okay. Okay, I've turned that a bit. Let's see if it makes a difference. No. Okay, well, I mean, 290 watts coming in, 290 watts coming out, and 347, should we say? 346 going in. Right. So I've just worked out the efficiency. I stopped the camera and redid the tests from 10 amps just in 2 amp increments. So it's not bad. I'm quite happy with that. I think that's pretty good. There might be some losses in the cables because they're quite small cables, and I'm wondering if you can parallel these although actually those can't be paralleled, I don't think. I don't think these work in parallel, but I think these might. These buck converters might work in parallel, although we're already near the limit of the current on the input, so that might not be worth it. But still, for nearly 300 watts, for the sake of what's it, about 20 quid, I don't think that's too bad at all. What I will do actually is just measure the volt drop in the cables and see how much of a difference that might make in the efficiency. I thought we'd just measure the volt drop on the cables, on the wiring themselves, because there'll be a bit of loss in that. So we're drawing 22 amps, which is 300 watts on the output. And on the input, I don't know if that's in camera. Probably can't see it. No, but it's 25.9 amps. So we've got a volt drop of 9.4. So that's times 2, 9.4 times 2. And on this one, $11.25, should we say? Cool, let's work that out then. So the power loss in the cable is actually way less than I thought. It turns out it's basically 1 watt across the whole, you know, from the output here, sorry, from the alternator, which is the power supply, all the way over to the input of the buck converter. Then the power loss in the cable itself, just the cable, is 0.97 watt. So it's nothing. Obviously, in real life, that would be probably a bit more, quite a lot more, depending on the distance you're running things. So I think the best thing to do would be have the boost converter as close to the alternator as you can, and then the output side, so this side, because it's a higher voltage, this is set to 30 volts feeding into this, you can have a longer cable run because the volt drop would be less. That would be the best way to maximise the efficiency. That's it pretty much. So what I'll do when I get the lithium batteries is I'll put this into practice, and we can see how well it actually works with regards to charging a battery and limiting the current like it would in a real world situation.